Hi subscribers and welcome back to the channel. My name's Dominic James Murray, CEO and founder here at Cameron James. Today we're going to be talking about life after final salary or defined benefit schemes. Now for the majority of you watching this video, you will have defined benefit pension transfers that you're either considering or that you want to do or that you've already done with us. If so, as I've always been saying in my videos recently, get your skates on. The base rate in the UK has been going up so far in 2022. We expect CETVs to possibly decrease over the coming years compared to the highs that we had in 2020 and 2021. So if you are looking to lock in a pension transfer, get your guaranteed CETV and get your skates on. If you'd like to book a free initial consultation, you can do so by heading over to our website, scrolling down, finding a date and time which is most suitable for yourself, and we will send you a full due diligence email. Okay, the point of my video today though is, if you have a defined benefit scheme, great. You already know the advice process you need to take, but do not underestimate the value of your defined contribution schemes as well. By transferring your defined benefit scheme into a SIP, you're effectively going into a defined contribution scheme as well. A SIP is by definition a defined contribution scheme, if that was the right choice for you. There's obviously also potentially QROPs if you're based in Europe, and you have a CETV which is potentially going over your lifetime allowance. So if you're so concerned about moving your DB into a defined contribution, what we also need to be doing is looking at your DCs. The pension transfer specialist will say to me, Dominic, hang on a minute, you're saying that the client wants to take control of their DB asset, they want excellent fund range, they're not happy with their Aviva, Zurich, whatever it is, they want to move out and have a SIP with 3,000 funds, that's such a big advantage for them. But they also have all these defined contribution schemes invested in default funds. So it doesn't really make sense what the client is saying here about how they want to have control of their assets, but then they're happy to use default funds and all these other pensions. It doesn't really fit from a compliance perspective. So it doesn't mean you can't transfer your DB if you don't do your DCs, but it's more holistic financial planning advice to say, actually, I want to transfer all of my pensions and consolidate them down if it is most suitable for me. So with defined contribution schemes, you should be looking, or at least investigating, consolidating these down if it is in your best interest. Now, some very modern DC schemes in this day and age actually have very low cost, great fund selection, and very often they will have default funds which are pretty good. Schemes from 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, I could not necessarily say the same thing for them. Typically speaking, schemes from 5, 10, 15 years ago will have higher costs, lower access to funds, and potentially higher charges. So guys, it's really important, be looking after your defined contribution asset. And you also have to be thinking to yourself, if you're no longer a member of a defined benefit scheme, or you were never fortunate enough to be part of a defined benefit scheme, for our younger watchers and viewers, you need to start taking serious financial planning advice, looking at your DC pots and how you can grow them, but also looking to maximize your ISA allowance each year, using general investment accounts of any surplus capital that you've had. The younger generation are actually going to struggle for their retirement far more than most of our clients in their 50s and 60s who have defined benefit assets and are obviously safeguarded. So the moral of today's story is you have to take care with all areas of your financial planning. So many of our clients are just over-focused on the final salary pension transfer. I think a lot of this is because of the hysteria in the market. Our final salary pension transfer is going to disappear. I also think there's almost like a negative complex going on. When people realize it's so difficult to transfer a DB and you have to jump through all these hoops and pay all this money and have all these reports, it almost makes clients more, they want to get it done because they think they can't get it done, but they're leaving their DCs on the side. And I actually think there's a lot of investment advice which is being missed out on. ISAs as well. A lot of our clients have cash ISAs. And often I say to them, okay, have you considered stocks and shares ISA? And they said, oh, well, no, I never really thought about it. I've got a cash ISA which is paying me 1 or 2% per annum, whatever it is. And I say to them, but look at your risk profile. You're a balanced or adventurous or balanced and adventurous investor. If you look at the long-term market return of equities, it is far outperformed 1 or 2% per annum. So whilst we're doing all this work to try and maximize your pension benefits, you've also got to look at your ISA and all your other assets, any surplus capital you have sitting in your bank account. We generally say to our clients, you should have anywhere between 3, 6 or a maximum 12 months worth of surplus funds on account in case something bad happens. So what that means is if your salary is £10,000 or £5,000 per annum per month, you should obviously have times 3, times 6, or times 12 of that sitting in a deposit account, emergency access fund, as we call it in the industry. Guys, I hope the video has been useful for you today. Motto is get your DBs done, but also look at your DCs, look at your ISAs, look at your GIAs, discuss these with ourselves or your trusted financial advisor, and make sure you're doing holistic financial planning advice across all areas of your finances if it is suitable for you to transfer pensions and if it is suitable for you to potentially move from a cash ISA to a stocks and shares ISA. Guys, I hope this has been valuable and I look forward to speaking with you soon.